Hey, welcome back to Phoenix Kitchen. If you watched our last video, you know that for Christmas, I got a molcajete and we learned how to season it because we want to make some nice, authentic Mexican food. Today, we're going to use that to make one of my favorite Mexican dishes, and that is chorizo. Freshly made, authentic chorizo is amazing. When you buy store-bought, you get that stuff that's just ground down so small and fine and so full of fat that you put it in your skillet, and as you cook it, it all just melts away. Now you're left with some amazing seasoning to use in different dishes. It's great for paella. But if you want to eat chorizo, you need to have some meat left. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at how to make an amazing chorizo that you can use that's absolutely authentic, it's easy to make, and it's so flavorful and so intense. So let me show you how we're going to do it.
All right, we're going to start with some dried peppers. If these aren't available at your local grocery store, check your city for a Mexican grocery store. Guarantee they have them. We're going to cut them open, scoop out the seeds, and then we're going to turn on a pan medium heat and just throw those in. No oil required. All we're doing is warming them up to get a little bit of char going and to release the aromas and the flavors. We're going to throw in a few cloves of garlic along with that and do the same. Now those peppers are going to come out. They're going to go into some warm water to soak and rehydrate. While that's happening, we're going to get our garlic into our molcajete along with some seasonings. We're going to be using those garlic cloves, whole peppercorns, whole cloves, whole cumin, and we're going to grind that in with some Mexican oregano, marjoram, and thyme, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar at the end to turn it all into a nice little paste. So we're going to get all of these into our molcajete. We're going to grind those up, and then we're going to set them to the side and measure out the rest of our seasonings. All right, with our peppers soaking and rehydrating and our seasoned crushed paste made, we're going to go ahead and gather the rest of our seasonings to get that beautiful red chorizo color. We're going to use Ancho chili powder. We're going to use Paprika and Achiote powder. Now, Achiote is not something that you may find at your regular everyday grocery store. Once again, while you're at the Mexican grocery store, go ahead and pick some up. It is well worth it. It's going to get the right color, and it's got just a little bit of bitterness. Very similar to the paprika, but it's not. Definitely a different flavor, and you need that to get that authenticness. That's what's going to be used in Mexico, and it's going to be, some of the difference you experience here in the States when you buy something at the supermarket, because they're not using that. They're just substituting extra paprika, which is not the same flavor. So we're going to get these measured out, and then we're going to go deal with our peppers. All right, so now we're going to get our blender set up, and we're going to make a paste from our peppers that we rehydrated, the guajillos and the pasillas. We're going to put those in, and we're going to add just a little bit of the water that they've been soaking in for moisture that we need to get this ground into a paste. We want to go with just a smidge of water at a time because we're not looking for something juicy. We just want to be able to get it mixed into a paste. So we're going to go probably no more than a tablespoon at a time, and we're going to blend this until we have a nice fully blended mixture. We're going to add in the ingredients, the paste from our molcajete, and we're going to add in the seasonings that we've measured out. Once we've got all that in and combined into our paste, That's the seasoning for our chorizo, and we'll grind our pork and get them mixed together. Now, this particular chorizo recipe that we're using is written for 1.5 pounds of pork, and this will be the recipe that is down below with all the exact measurements that you need. We're going to grind this up. I am using pork shoulder. I'm looking for an 80-20 blend, and pork shoulder will pretty much give me that without a lot of work. I can just cube it up and grind it down. If you want a little more fat, add in some pork belly or some extra pork fat. Keep in mind, the more fat there is and the smaller that we grind this, the more it's just going to melt away and be like the chorizos that we buy in the store that we're not looking for. So I'm using that medium grinding plate and 1.5 pounds of pork. We're going to get this all ground, and once it's ground, all we have to do is mix everything together. Just take all of the seasonings and the paste out of the blender and get in there with your hand, mix it up. Alright, and as you can see, you get that beautiful red color, and because we didn't add too much moisture to our pepper paste, what we end up with is a nicely packed sausage. It's not runny. So we're going to go ahead and grab some cling wrap. I'm going to divide this 1.5 pounds into 3 individual packages, about 1/2 pound each. We'll get these wrapped up into the saran wrap, let them go into the fridge to get their form. You know, as they cool, it'll firm up. Then I can go ahead and vacuum seal and freeze a couple. Keep in mind, this sausage is not cured. All we did was grind the pork and season it. That means I'm going to get about a week to 10 days in the fridge max. So if I'm not planning to use the entire 1.5 pounds, I do definitely want to vacuum seal and freeze part of it, and then just bring it out as I need it. So we'll get all this done, put down, formed, and rolled up, and get it into the fridge. All right, just to give you 1 or 2 ideas what you can do with it, I'm making some tacos. I've got ground beef and my chorizo, some onions. We're gonna get that brown and add it with our favorite taco seasoning mix. I'm gonna go ahead and set those up just like I normally would any taco, with some lettuce, cheese, avocado. Next morning, this stuff is delicious, scrambled into some eggs with salsa. Serve it with some warm tortillas and avocado. Absolutely amazing. I really hope you'll give this recipe a try. We're giving away a 5-piece cast iron lodge cookware set when we hit 1,000 subscribers. All you have to do is like a video and subscribe to the channel to be entered in the giveaway.